In this tutorial, I want to show you how I mix animation techniques, merging motion graphics and cell animation inside After Effects. A while ago, I animated this illustration for cellwizard.com, the sponsor of this video, which is a library of modular and editable frame-by-frame animation that can be combined with each other to create thousands of possible combinations in any style for your motion graphics project. In this tutorial, I want to show you the techniques I use to create one of these animations and how you can use a similar workflow for your project. First, I draw in Adobe Illustrator the shapes of my bottle. In a lot of tutorials, I see people saving shapes as Illustrator files and then importing them in After Effects. But if you have just few layers, you can just select your shape, copy it, go to After Effects, create a new solid and paste it. Way easier. I repeated the process also with the other bottles and with the two tops. Now I can start animating the position and rotation of the bottle, so I'm just setting up a few keyframes. As you can see, we have a problem that one of the bottles is always on top instead of going front and back. We can fix that just by cutting the layer in the point where the bottles are not overlaid, but I'm going to wait because before that I want to start applying some effect. So, right click on the layer, layer style and select inner shadow. Set it on white and increase the size to create a light gradient on the border of the bottle. Then I want to add some more depth to my shape, so I'm also adding a bevel and emboss layer style. I want to set one color on the same tone of the bottle and the other with the same color of the second bottle, so that it looks like the bottles are reflecting each other's color. Now I want to keyframe the angle of the bevel and emboss layer style to have the colors following the position of the two bottles. And I want to apply the same things also to the second bottle. This way, while they are rotating, it will look like they are reflecting each other's. Now I want to tidy up a little bit my timeline, so I'm recoloring the red bottle layer and splitting them in the middle to bring the second half of the timeline up. Now the bottles look like they're actually rotating as both of them pass back and front during the loop. I want to continue the styling of my bottles a little bit, so I am duplicating the layer and setting it on a slightly darker color. I'm adding a mask to change its shape and I'm modifying its feather and expansion to create a different color area inside of the bottle. I also want to animate the path shape of the mask to change accordingly to the bottle rotation. I repeated the process also for the purple bottle and added two layers with the bottle labels. In this case the labels are Adobe Animate and the Adobe After Effects logos, as this animation is made to symbolize the connection between the two softwares. Anyway, now that I have my motion graphics component, it's time to move inside Adobe Animate, where I imported the video to be used as a base guide. To be sure that all of this works, remember to check that in Adobe Animate you have the same frame rate of your After Effects composition. In this case, I was on a 24 frames per second. I did different experiments and tests about the smoke animation, and as I wasn't 100% sure about the right direction, I wanted to have a sort of smoke that also feels like liquid. In the end, I created this circles animation and used that as a base to build my smoke. That was set on 3 layers, a base layer, one for the shadow and one for the highlights. I did not record this part of the frame-by-frame smoke animation process because it was quite long and I wanted to focus on the concept and the general workflow. But please let me know in the comment if it would be something that you could be interested in. Anyway, I exported my cell animation in 3 distinct layers and imported those layers back to Adobe After Effects. Here I can recolor the layer. Instead of using a fill effects, I'm using the gradient ramp because I want the lower part of the smoke to be lighter in color. For the highlight, I'm using just the fill effect and some blur effect. Now I can just simply import my cell animation composition on the top of my motion graphics and we're done. Maybe you'll notice that our result is not perfectly identical to the reference. That's because there is an effect missing. You can see that there is a transparency and distortion effect on the bottle. As one is passing behind the other, you can still see distorted shape inside the bottle in the front. I left this effect out because I'm planning to do a tutorial on transparency distortion and go in detail about that, so subscribe if you don't want to miss it. Also, this video was sponsored by cellwizard.com. It's a tool that I often use in my freelance project and it's made both to save time and also to help motion designers that are not very confident with their frame-by-frame animation skill, but still want to add an extra layer of depth and quality to their project. So if you're curious, check it out on cellwizard.com. Thanks very much and bye.